Hello and welcome back to the channel. I think I previously mentioned that I was going to do a separate video on the 2008 Tiara. It's a Sovran 3900. Had a lot of content and decided to put that into a separate video altogether. So please like, subscribe, comment, share, do all that good stuff for me. I'm just getting started out here. And sit back and enjoy the content. See you soon. So I just
so as you're just looking everything
introduced
over,
the
a couple things out and
the owner of the boat to my prospect. I don't usually do this. Most times I don't want the owner of the boat here, but this guy has basically done everything this boat needs, and he really takes good care of it. So that's Dan and Chad, and so Adam is a pilot, the owner of the boat here for Delta, and prior to that he was a mechanic, aircraft mechanic. So he is so into this boat, and if anything breaks, he's all about redundancy, because being a pilot, that's very important. But this boat for 2008 in the covered slip, it's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm gonna hop on board, kind of listen in. I'm gonna let Adam kind of go through, and again, it's not normally what I do, but just to let you guys know, there's times when you should do this, and there's times when you probably shouldn't. And this is a time where you should, because he really helped me sell his other boat and let him do most of the talking, because he knows every system and everything that he replaced.
okay, ready to go. Both these struts here replaced here recently.
He actually cleans his own bottom.
That's what he said.
Yeah, he goes to the cleaner water. So you don't do it in here, right? You usually go out.
Sometimes I do it here.
Yeah.
Just if I have to.
Yeah.
Or if I want to do.
Better out there if you have time.
One of the best things about having your own diving gear is if you're doing a long run cross country and you would hit a crab pot, why go underneath and say like, hey, what's going on in the situation?
Yeah.
On the 3900, they have one of the things, an extra circuit breaker for the shore power, TV, and shore water. I never run myself the shore water just because I had a friend of mine's boat almost sink at the dock.
Oh, really?
That way.
Yeah, so you're saying that running the shore water, if you leave the boat and don't shut the valve off, you can sink the boat if you're not here and you don't have a high water alarm, or your bilge pumps can't keep up, or if the shore power cuts off. So I'm going to go down here and just going to show you the inside of the boat. I know he's not here yet, but I want to go ahead. We don't have any lights on down here, but you can still see pretty well. So you got a berth in the back, and you've got a really nice head and shower in here. Turn some lights on. Talk about letting your seller do a lot of the work for you. But hey, when they're willing to do it, take advantage of it. And here's the master stateroom. Is forward. Got a hatch up there. There's some lights in here. Turn those on. He doesn't even have that air conditioning running, and it's freezing in here. He's got the one air conditioner running.
3900, just like the other Tiara, you've got your battery main power.
All right, I'm gonna go back to these guys and listen in and help where I can.
When you come down on this one, two panels. I call them electro-environmental, and as you can see, Let's see, waste is half, water is in between transit. But the little 3 powers right there, what I do like about this boat is it'll tell you whether you have dirty power or like a shore ground or a reverse polarity before you even think about, you know, turning anything on or energizing the boat. Also, too, you have the Johnson pump alarm, which I didn't have on my Sea Ray. So you can arm that at night if you're out on the anchor, and then that way, if any of the bilges would kick off, you know, you get an alarm.
You get an alarm, gotcha.
That's an audible alarm.
It is, and it's loud. We can test it. All right, so electro-environmental. If you go ahead and come on down, you get a couple different switches here. So 12 volt on the bottom, and then 110 on top, Chad. As you can see, like the blue tape on the bottom, just things I never turn on. Sat TV, as they'll constantly make sound like a noise, like it's a hydraulic noise trying to locate the satellites.
Yep.
And then the other one is waste pump out.
Especially in a covered slip, right?
Yeah,
Has a hard time finding.
You know, real quick, you know, you got your Ginny start stop here. We can do it below as well, but house and the engine. Then coming up, you can see on battery charger on, air conditioning pump, water heater, and 1. So zone 1 is here. Then forward V-berth is going to be zone 2. Out in the cockpit is 3 and 4.
Gotcha.
All right, so if you don't mind, go ahead and flip 3 and 4 on.
Working with my glasses. Well, I don't have my glasses on me.
All right,
3
so-
and 4 right
yeah,
there.
so here's
Yep,
3.
3 and then 4.
Right? And then, so, you know, you got your line 1 and line 2 for your 50 amp.
Yep.
And then you're just going to kind of watch those. Should be the top one's going to do a spike. And they'll kick on. And then we'll hear, consequently, we're going to hear some water start to pump. For the cockpit AC on the starboard side, the aft hole for the discharge is going to be those 2 ACs. And on the port side mid, lower, you're going to see water flowing out.
Yep.
For the 2 ACs.
I hear it.
Okay. Yep, I hear it on too. Yep.
And now you can see a loading there of 18 amps on each zone.
Got it.
All right, so then we got good AC. We can see we have green. We don't have green light here on the gen set because it's not run.
Got it.
Underneath the seat right here,
This one?
there's going to be storage. Here's a toggle switch right here.
Okay.
And we'll get to that here. This will actually go down into a queen, and it's electric. But if you want to go ahead and open some of the, pop up the 3.
Pop these up?
Yeah, go ahead and pop those up. Take a gander. So that's going to be sheets, and they also too. There's a closeout cover here. It's each one of these snaps.
Oh yeah.
So if you have guests here, you can put the snaps up and then close them out
Close that up. Yep.
and give them a little bit of privacy. Once again, this switch underneath. You can see now we're going to come all the way down. Now just push on the cushions a little bit. Push on the couch. See how it rolled back?
Oh yeah.
So that slot's going to go all the way in. So what I love about a Tiara is you're not moving cushions and doing everything and
It just
it does its own thing. So it locks in, so you don't have to worry about, you know, I don't have to build anything.
Yep. And this was the issue I had with the 35 is this just wasn't a big enough space.
Okay.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
Like 6'1".
Okay.
Yeah. Right around there. It was just kind of cramped.
Okay.
You guys been on those?
I have.
35?
I've been on a 35, yeah. They're a little bit smaller.
Yeah. They're very similar, it's just a little bit smaller everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
So right forward of your feet, about 2 feet, is going to be your black tank. If you took the... It's a little quieter here. If you took a Phillips screwdriver right here, move this pin out of the way, run that all the way out, there's going to be 2 access panels underneath there, and it have all the all your services for the actual the head tank.
Got it.
Both pumps are brand new, and the lines are brand new, and everything in the head except for the toilet base is brand new. So,
Yeah, that's a big deal.
all right, so kind of going forward now from the front to the back. You got 2 Samsung TVs. Turn this one on. The Bose itself can come in and you can do 2 different things. Like, so I have an Android, I can just, you know, do the smart view
Yep.
and put whatever I'm watching on my phone right up on that TV.
Yep.
Or on the bottom, you can mirror that one to the other one and run the Bose surround sound. So the Bose has the 2 speakers right there.
Yep.
And you can either do music or the TV.
Okay.
Let's see. There's the port side. And a small locker down there, left. And then over here, you're going to have 2 same size lockers.
Yep.
Go to the other side, you got a closet. And you can see there where like all of your privacy shades that I have on right now because we're into the in the marina.
Yeah.
Let's see, 2. So all 5 can actually fit in there. Also, too, we have another fire extinguisher that's been checked.
Okay.
And then you can make that a locker. I just got back. I took a similar sized boat, so that's why the parts are there.
Oh, gotcha.
Go ahead and open up the. So similar
Yes.
storage
Storage
all the way down.
Okay.
Underneath the bed. So for primary, we talked about that table earlier as we were out. So here it is
yeah.
with its cover, and we can set everything up. Diving equipment. When I'm normally gone on the road, because I'm only here 10 days a month, these are all of the covers. That way, anything outside as far as interior wise is covered.
Yep.
Let's see, what else we know worthy here. Rough seas, you have a latch here to here. Forward of this, you have the storage, which we really don't access very often. So, for example, I've got filters up there
Gotcha.
for the engines, spare parts. Once again, just like the cockpit, you can get out the hatch.
Yep.
And also, too, if you wanted to cruise and didn't want to run any power,
You guys can get out of the hatch. I don't know about me.
So there's 3 of these. All of those work. I'll go ahead and fire up zone 2. If you want to close out the forward V berth on each side, there's like a little step for your toe, and you can step on each one of the hatches.
Oh, I gotcha. I see it. Yep.
So what's nice there is if you have maybe some guests on board, but at the same time you do want some privacy, you can't lock that from the inside.
Got it.
And then just up all the way out and lock
Clicks in.
for overnight and everything else like that. Here's a pretty deep size drawer. There's 2 drawers underneath here where you kind of have to pull straight out. So for example, pull this one
Oh, I gotcha.
and go up. You can see there's the ship tools and everything else like that, some storage.
Okay.
I have cooking stuff on the other side. There's some latches underneath, and you can see some hooks here. You can actually pull this all the way out, but it had the cushions in.
Oh,
Make
yeah.
Make these into
I didn't
a
know
bunk
this one.
bed.
Yeah, Tiara's known
Yeah.
for that. Does that there too.
That's cool.
Let's see, microwave is here. Pantry storage here. Silverware. Storage as well. And then, of course, your freezer. And your fridge. And then we've got the big closet and also another fire extinguisher.
For being 6'1", you got quite a bit of headroom in here.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, as you're in the head, find the bowl and then go to the northeast of the bowl. Back there is going to be 3 switches. Bottom one's the fan.
Yeah.
So you've got the medicine cabinet, cleaning supplies down here. Just go ahead and push.
Push.
And then I was on a 32 C ray for 3 years.
Yeah.
And that shower is impressive. That's 65 PSI. by 3.5 to 5 gallons per hour out of that nozzle head. There's 3 different positions of the head.
Yeah.
So it's a nice shower.
It's a nice one.
Yeah. So the shower itself, you can see like where the handle's at, almost the 6 o'clock position. Move that to the 6:30 until you start 6:30 to 7 o'clock position where you start feeling some heat, and then that's about all you want to go. This one will burn.
Burn you?
Yeah.
Roger that.
So it is not messing around.
He doesn't have the anti-scald valve.
Yeah. The storage of it.
Yeah. So just close this for a quick second. Alright, so once again, another fire extinguisher in here. This is going to be our 4th fire extinguisher. If you have any problems underway, you've got anchor release, flares, flare kit, and you know, we're getting older, so the binoculars really help out.
Couldn't even see this.
Yeah.
I can't either. I can't either. I couldn't help
finding
you.
glasses so bad, I just get the readers.
Oh, I got
You know
readers.
what, yeah.
Usually drinks here,
Okay.
and some kind of the snacks and alternate pantry.
Yeah.
And then once again, I just when we cruise, I usually throw the overhead up in here.
That's a good spot.
You just pull nice and easy, pull these out, and then open them up. So if I wanted to open this one up, here, and then that screen is loose. So if you ever pop these out, make sure you grab them east and west.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And pull it out, or you're gonna go
It's good.
fish.
Yeah. Swimmy.
Sounds like you've done that before.
I'm just saying.
I know
It's
from
almost like the voice of experience of what I wish I would have known.
Yeah.
So,
I get it though.
all right, so that's kind of the quick overview. Now,
Yeah.
if we come back up in front, what I love about a Tiara, and obviously, since
Wait
you've
till you
been
see
on it,
these
you know,
bilges.
is how heavy those doors are. That girl is, she cranks it out. So that is,
Is that 8 gallon?
what did I have on the C rate? I think I had a 6. So I think that's a
10?
10. So I've never ran out of hot water.
Yeah, that's
You know.
bigger than I would have guessed. I know, and the way they build it is just.
Yeah.
You don't feel that on other most other boats. Yeah.
All right, so if you don't mind, go ahead and pull out the center one. And everything you can see here, these 2 lines are new. Your water pump is new.
Yep.
And went through and inspected everything, cleaned everything.
It's really good.
Now straight back, you can see that's the head tank.
Yep.
So since we're indicating it's half full, you know, at some point today it would be nice to go get some fuel and get that done. Get a pump out as well. But 38 gallon black, 100 gallon water, 300 fuel.
Ooh.
Yeah, feel free to sit on anything, open anything.
No, it's good. I think I did about everything.
It's clean.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, overhead, same thing as I normally carry the water here. Now, operational wise, you can see like we have a galley as opposing to the couch, right?
Yep.
So zip wakes, have you used them before?
Used what?
Zip wake trims.
Mm-mm.
So a zip wake is basically, I think of it as like a lift generator. So we have a heavy side and a light side. So we're gonna have to go down 3 trim settings to generate lift on the starboard side.
Uh-huh.
That way we can have a neutral
Yeah.
plane. Water, placard. Let's see what else we got here.
It's getting a little technical on us.
Yeah. I've always just driven into like, well, it's leaning.
Exactly right.
That makes more sense, but
Yeah.
that's the same concept. Yeah.
So coffee.
Leave it to a
2-burner
pilot.
2-burner
Yeah.
electric, and then also 2
decent size.
What I
Garbage?
do,
Yeah.
garbage. What I do love about this thing is with a 15 kilowatt generator, you know, that's a 4-cylinder Cummins. I always had to make a decision on my 32, you know, do I want AC, do I want to cook, do I want to, you know, I had to do some kind of electrical power distribution.
Yep.
And I had a load shed, right? This thing with 15 kilowatts, you can run everything.
You can just run it.
It's
Yeah.
like the generator's like the honey badger, it doesn't care. So, one thing to note, if you have anybody get in the bathroom and run a ginormous hair dryer, right, and a curler, you're going to lose the Bose and the stereo. So in here and to the left, back here, you get your phone on you?
Yep.
Alright, just want to show you this with a light real quick. See these two circuit breakers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so those two right there and the one in the bathroom in the head are all tied. So that's 20 amps. If somebody goes over 20 amps, you gotta
So it'll pop that one and those two?
Yeah, so
Got
you
it.
come back there to do a reset.
Yep.
So I had to wait, I think it was almost, the guy called me back after 6 weeks after I bought it, and I popped him on day 2.
Yeah.
So I was like, the Bose doesn't work.
Yeah.
You
I would
know?
have never thought to look back there for.
Well, now you know.
Yeah.
So, and then let's see, all of the remotes.
Yes, sir. Dennison.
All the remotes for the Bose are here. Let's get that turned on. Maybe. Hopefully it's nothing too crazy. What does that say? Aux.
Yeah.
Let's go to FMAM. Not into Spanish music, but it does work.
Yeah.
I mean, you
I
could
heard it.
you could do that,
play.
or you could integrate into the TV or anything else like that.
Okay, gotcha.
Or if you got little kids.
They're grown now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So apparently everybody's into gaming modules and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I'm not gonna allow that on.
Okay.
That's
I
good.
Yeah. It was DVDs back in the day for me.
Everything has been replaced except for the sofa. So the couple I bought it off of, they hated this cream, so they went with the white.
Mm-hmm.
So now one of the things is nobody sits down here, right? So if I move around, I don't feel like a dead spot
Yeah.
anywhere, and
Oh,
it feels
going
pretty,
fishing. Yeah.
it feels pretty foamy. All right, so that's all as far as cabin goes.
Okay.
Long as you have water, you're gonna have heat. And, you know, that being said, depending on what the nozzle said in the head or for the shower, which is my C-Ray that I started on was wet headed. I hated it.
Mm-hmm.
You know that I love
Yeah.
that shower.
Yeah, to have that separate.
It's almost like I took like a 12-minute shower this morning. You know. Yeah, you're always gonna have heat. Everything here, like if you wanted some night lights, you're gonna have the same thing for starting to kind of like calm everything down. And you have switches there, switches here. Fire extinguisher or fire detector, carbon monoxide detector, carbon monoxide detector. Can we get to the fun part?
Yeah. Yeah, you can feel that AC.
All right, so you got two 16,000 BTUs, so you're pulling in through the front. The filters are in front, and you can just merely pull the cover off. I do that quarterly, if not sooner. Go ahead and have a seat at the helm station. All right, hips and to the right is going to be your adjuster, so you can see where it says power seat. The switch.
Yep.
Go ahead and rotate that forward until you're comfortable.
I can't even see a fingerprint on the chart plotters. I'm looking hard. I don't see any fingerprints on there.
Okay, so once again, partner with the Garmin. Have you had any experience with any of the Garmin's, Chad?
Yeah, it's just been a while since I've had a bigger
Okay.
boat. So I mean, the technology's
So
newer, but I had a Garmin. Yeah.
anything else? So it doesn't matter to me. Garmin Marine, Garmin Aviation.
Yeah.
They're all the same, right? What I love about YouTube is if you need any kind of information, it has it right there. All right, so of course we hit agree to agree. A couple things with the vessel view. See how much fuel's in, 104, but that doesn't count for the generator. The generator is going to burn 2.4, 2.8 loaded, so I went out all day and I think I burned like 22, 23, depending on when I run it.
Yeah.
All right, so home key, radar, overlay, and then, for example, what I love about this thing is the info tab. We come up here to browse out guidance. We'll just pick one for right. Navigate to, from start, or just forward. And the magenta starts, right? So obviously you can see, for like there to get down to the pier is 10.5 miles. Lateral separations here. But big thing there is how cold is the water, right? But I can tell you there, that's a 5mm suit day to get in 70 degrees, 72 degree water. But what I do like about this is once you have, once you're going and you look at the time, if you would tell like the family, hey, I'm going to be there in 20 minutes, and you got a consistent cruise, your ground speed. AIS alarm, which I wish CRJs and helicopters would pay attention to that.
Yeah.
So that was solve a lot of problems.
Yeah. Sure.
So, all right, so Garmin has everything. However you want to run it is however you want to run it. You can run depth on this side. However, though, particularly this MFD contains, when you go into vessel and you want to look specifically at like the engines and cross compare between any of the Volvo information to the vessel view, you'll have to come over here to this particular
On that
MFD.
side. Yeah, gotcha.
So I like radar overlay. Okay. Any bigger boat that you had, did you ever have like lateral navigation
What do you mean by that?
for the autopilot?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. It's a smaller version. The most recent one I had when I lived down here was the C-rated 39 motor yacht.
39?
Yeah, but again, that was like a 2005 or 7, and I've had a bunch of boats in between that are
Okay.
smaller.
So
But I just, I was putzing around Lake Michigan, so I didn't need.
So let's just
that
practice
kind of
real
stuff
quick.
more.
So on the lower right hand of the Garmin unit, let's just go ahead and select the menu button. So lower unit.
Oh, here, talking about here.
So let's go to the menu button real quick. So see how and like you have standby and then you have engage and
Yeah.
menu, right? So now we'll go ahead and scroll down to the GPS steering button. And then so we had engines running and everything else like that. We could actually hit select and we could actually follow the lateral navigation.
Oh, yeah, that's how
or the
okay.
magenta course.
Yep.
So that for long cross countries, long range, whatever you want to do, very, very
much
friendly. All right, so let's just hit back and back. You can see like the autopilot, it's not going to engage because nothing's running, but big
Yep, I got
grids,
you.
like the standby.
Yep.
So remember, have you driven pods?
No.
Okay,
We're
you're
still
gonna
there.
love it.
Yeah, I've never
You're
had
gonna love
pods. I had the old school stuff.
So Helm station.
Yeah.
Helm station. So one of the things, for example, is when we're in the, when we come over here, we have low mode, high mode. Over a 30-mile-an-hour crosswind, high mode, we can back right in, no problem. Low mode, great for everything else. Left, right, forward, aft, counterclockwise, clockwise. So, arming everything up, we would just go keys to the right, one click.
Time I do it.
Yeah.
Turn them on.
So go one right click, and then the other key, one right click. Should say clockwise. All right, so you can see the Volvo, the ECUs, the engine control units just popped up, right?
Yep.
So we can see that, like, hey, they haven't been started today. That's the nominal temperature. Everything else like that, as far as like transmission temperature, oil pressure, those are all the same. right? So then we go for start, we can fire it up. Other side. All right, so stay at the helm station. It reboots itself. Now if we had any kind of codes, oil pressure, crank sensor, something not working, anything wrong with the pod, we have an issue, right? So you have immediately a master warning or a master caution would come up in here. If there's two books down below, one's the engine book, the other one is the pod book, but it talks about everything pertaining to the engines. As we're warming up, we can do a couple different things. So go ahead and hit engage on the steering wheel, or engage on the button there on your autopilot controller. Now try moving this. Pretty stiff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now go ahead and override it physically with force on the wheel. Okay. So you can override it, but if you go back to, see how it said shadow drive, now heading hold. So go ahead and hit big red, which we call it disconnect.
Standby.
Yeah, go ahead and hit big red. Now you're free, right?
Gotcha.
Okay. Now to verify that we have control integrity from this helm station, we'll just configure to do the rest of the checks. So nice and easy. Take the starboard motor forward, into gear, and then back to neutral. Did you feel it?
Yep.
Okay, now go reverse to neutral. Neutral. Do the other engine. Okay, so now that would complete the ops check of this helm station. Now go ahead and hit the lower left-hand button on the Volvo Penta. Okay, now your pods are armed. So I'll just demonstrate real quick. Simple here, like we can move all the way around. Push forward, aft. I'm gonna go a little bit clockwise. Just feel the bow coming around.
Yep.
The center of gravity or the center of momentum is about 2 feet behind our butts. So everything that we're going to pivot, traditionally what we would do, especially with like splitting the sticks, you know, everything is here, right?
Yeah.
But what I love about the pods is once I can find my position, I can move this over, and everything is set. All right, radio is up, everything else like that, no codes, none of the bilges that are running. And the other thing we have left to do is we would go about 3 to generate lift on the heavy side, which is the starboard side.
Which we were saying.
Yeah, so same thing like that before. If that indicator goes down, if you just think about that as a trim tab going down, it's a lift. That's it.
That's what that is.
Correct.
What is this here?
So that's going to be an EVC. That is an engine vehicle control. And a couple things that we could do is, say you wanted, for maintenance purposes, you wanted to rev the engines up and get them hot. Well, at idle, they're not going to get up to RPM temperature, so if you push the in button, which is basically neutral in gear, and then take the power levers forward, you can rev up each individual engine.
I gotcha.
Or if you had a code, you would push the button to read the particular code. Also, too, with these ECUs, we can go into a couple different things. So the middle button is always going to be your trip. And then we say like, okay, what is our trip rate? What is our fuel flow? You know, how many hours on this fuel load do we have? You know, what is our range? What are our hours? Back to multi, which is the middle button. There's your rudder limmer indicator. So I mean, you could have it there. Suncoast Diesel, Mark himself, loves when you're operating here, because if you have any kind of coolant inlet pressure or a transmission oil temperature issue or a 10% variance per motor, you can see it right away as far as the performance problem.
Is that where you leave it?
That's where I leave it right there. I cruise the entire time.
So I mean, you got everything else you want on the other screen.
All right, let's go down below and we're going to get shore power off.
Yep.
So let's go down to the E&E compartment.
All right, I think we're getting ready to go for a little ride here. Another thing that we typically don't do, but it's the owner's boat. But if it's a a brokerage boat like this is and the owner's not present, we wouldn't do no rides, no nothing, but we know this guy is serious. We've already vetted him. He flew down here specifically. I picked him up in the parking lot. He just got dropped off here in an Uber. And yeah, stand up client. But we will, you know, be able to go out on a ride here. Typically what we do is we want to put an offer together, put a contract together, and then get a deposit in escrow before we would do anything like this. But this is something that you can do when you have a seller that's willing to do that. Go ahead and disconnect some shore power here.
Alright, big disconnect's coming off.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put the camera down here for a minute while he's doing the shore power.
Cable master, I did one adjustment to it since I've owned it. Just flip the switch in.
Yep. They'll feed it.
Yeah, so I called them, went knitting themselves. Super great customer support. Pulled the thing all the way out, did a couple quick measurements, and took one shim out that was probably close to, I want to say it was like 16 or 18 thousandths. And now she runs all the way in. I mean, you can walk away from it, and there's a safety stop to protect itself.
Yeah.
But I like to just kind of stay handy.
That's kind of how I used to do it, yeah. Just make sure it's...
Did your C-Ray have a knitting or anything, or a cable master?
You did.
Okay.
When these shore cords are really cold, they don't bend as well, so
Yeah.
they'll jam a little bit. You know, on a hot summer day, they'll go in a lot smoother.
Yeah.
So. Do you think you were going to get to go for a ride?
No.
This is how this guy rolls. Most sellers, I don't want them anywhere near the boat when I'm trying to sell it because they're emotionally, they're emotionally attached to it.
Yeah.
And you know, they don't want to hear any negative things if somebody points stuff out.
So what we got to do is we have a spring line on our starboard side, right?
Yep.
That'll protect us. So go ahead and go counterclockwise, start getting the mid off, get the bow off. Just throw all the lines. There's a hook for the bow line.
Okay.
Here's the broker here doing absolutely nothing. This is unusual. I'm normally doing everything, but I'm videoing content. If you like this stuff, you know what to do. Like and subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. What a beautiful Helm station. All right, we're getting ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and shut down here for a little bit, put the camera down.
Just on the way back, when we get a bigger space, I'll let you play with it. You can move it forward and twist at the same time. So it'll do a couple different things. So right now, normally what I do is I just switch in to the to using the wheel, but I'll bring it out on the pod.
Kind of interesting to see it though. Yeah.
So as you can see, I think I'm forward about 1/4 inch, and I'm just slowly turning. If there's any kind of wind correction, I'm just moving about a 1/16 of an inch.
You going back then? You kind of just playing?
Yeah,
just kind of learn it.
So I'm on the center line of the vessel, and I know that like if I'm lined up with the lights coming out of here, I'm not going to hit anything. All right, you got your seat like you like it?
Say what?
You got your seat like you like it? You feel like you're forward enough?
I'll go a little bit forward. All right.
All right, go ahead and go into gear. And then we'll just stay in gear for a little bit. try a course change of like 20 or 30 degrees to the right, then bring it back to the left. Now with pods, you're going to notice it would be, and come about 10 right due to traffic.
You got good depths here?
Yeah.
5, yeah.
Yeah, so we're coming back up on everything.
These boats in here from the last hurricane, or have these been in here before?
So the scallywags, you know, like as soon as they remove one, 3 hatch.
Yeah, I know.
The scallywags, that's what you call them?
Right.
As soon as you...
That looks like that's been there a long time.
Yeah, so-
I couldn't tell from that, but yeah.
Yeah, we got some of the...
Yeah, there's just always,
Yeah,
right?
they're just
Punta has them now too, and they didn't for years.
Thanks for your wait.
the vagrant boats. Yeah, Freedom Boat Club. Coming in hot. Coming in hot.
There's like one little shallow area here.
And there we have the Portuguese Navy right there. Actually, it's pretty cool. You can get shrimp right off of those things this time of year.
Really?
Yeah, they'll come up here and they'll offload their shrimp right on the ramps and the docks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right there. It's Maximo Park.
All right, so we got east winds. As we get into the sailboat, right on the corner of the tree, we want to be about 8 feet south of that tree, 8 to 10 feet. And then as you can see, like on the tracks, we'll kind of pick a hard left. And then come right, then left. And once we get on the shallow zone, like just follow the tracks.
How you doing, Captain Chad?
All good.
All good?
So since it's a no wake zone, I just keep it in gear and let it idle, which should be 600. Just take it out and everything else like that. As you can see on the bush, that's normally where like Eckert College, I think that's where you can see like there's a little table there. They like to indulge in any kind of herbal supplement.
Huh?
So you might have to go into neutral just momentarily and check things out. This thing here like broke.
Over here we have Eckerd College.
And
Been sitting there a while.
A lot of the girls like to
about 10 left. That way we can kind of
hang out at the dock there.
But see, I haven't been back here since they fixed the docks. These were all screwed up,
Those were screwed, yeah.
and then so
Put in the new
yeah.
Big sailboat.
cement pilings. Was it cement before?
Old sailboat.
Yeah.
Okay, so is
So
it?
normally what I would do is I would call it. I've been paying like $3.25 a gallon for fuel down here, and it's Dave's Offshore Fuel. So as we just center up on here, unless there's no traffic. I see no traffic coming.
Good.
This is
Now
the
on the Garmin, you can see that like.
this is
we
the
have a course
herbal
line, right?
island
Yeah,
here.
it's
This is
herbal.
where the college
It's
kids
all right. Also, too,
like
in the
to
upper left-hand
take home
corner
and
of the-
smoke a
the
doobie or
left
two.
MFD, see how like there's a little
Smelled it
green arrow?
hundreds of times because I used to live in the townhomes
Yeah, so
at Loggerhead
eventually
Marina.
We're going to turn our radar on.
But if you look in here, we might be able to see somebody toking on a bone. No, I don't see anybody in there today.
Perfect.
The beautiful birds that we have
Alright,
here
so
in
once
Florida.
we come up to the idle speed,
Big
we
old
wanna
blue
be like
heron
10
up
or
there.
15 left degrees tracking away.
Another egret, a white one.
From the trees.
Okay.
There is a piling that's kind of close and submerged down there.
Double look
But
at me,
we're
in the
gonna,
middle.
yeah, we're gonna go ahead and set 1,000 for our RPM.
Well, they really changed this here a lot, huh, Adam?
They have. So this is their whole new thing where I don't know if it's more surge friendly or whatnot,
Yeah.
but I think they're trying to keep more of the sunbathers on the west end or that other end over there.
Yeah.
But they kind of felt like this was a little too creepy over here. All right, now you can see a couple different things. We've got
And believe it or not, that is one of the Eckerd College dorms right there.
6.6, 6.6.
And they have a beautiful
What's bigger,
view.
What's in your scan? So 6.8 on
They
depth.
they basically look
So
out,
if that-
go over
if
to
we-
the
if we go into a 4-foot
port
position,
side.
we're bring in an alarm.
Just to give you an idea of what they get to look at every day.
Neutral.
Yep.
And then
That's
brake
what they
your
get to look
momentum.
at.
So I would just go neutral and offload the thing. All right, let's set 1,000 on each engine.
How we doing today?
Just track this course or in the
More
course.
derelict boats.
Go ahead and hit the radar button if you can.
All right, picking up a few RPM here.
Upper
Oh,
left.
right there.
And if this is a little dark, I'm just going to momentary press, backlight. Let's go up, back. Quick press, backlight,
Kind of fun
all the way
to
up,
watch the
back, back.
owner of the boat
That's all depending on the time
teach a
of day.
prospect
Yeah, so we can do
how to run his boat.
just like that. But
He
now
absolutely
we got
loves this boat.
All right,
What's not to love?
traffic-wise,
All right, guys, I'll check back in with you later.
when you're
To show you guys how you know when a boat is not a dock queen, all you have to do is just look at the tracks. That's ridiculous. This boat is used weekly.
It's like a zebra.
It's
It's a zebra.
When you're ready, go ahead and take your glasses and put them in the cup holder. So you can do two things. One, I want you to bring it up nice and slow to 28 to 3,000,
Okay.
and we'll adjust our trim. And then I want you to do a whole shot. So you can either do a whole shot first, or you can do a slow one, whichever you'd like.
Let's go slow first.
Okay, so nice and start bringing it in. So we have turbo superchargers. So the supercharger function is going to engage now up to 1,800 RPM, and our turbochargers will engage from 1,800 RPM all the way up to our max RPM of 3,500. All right, your course looks great. Keep bringing it up here at 2,400 now. 26, keep bringing it in. Keep bringing it in. All right, 2770, just give me a little bit more, give me 10 right. All right, now Chad, how does it feel?
Good.
Okay, let's come to the right a little bit. And I'm gonna go 1, 2 on the trim. See how it almost kind of straightened right up?
You did that one then,
I
right?
did because I want to generate, I want left side down. So
I got
we
you.
got to generate lift
Yep.
on our starboard side. Would you agree?
Yep.
How about one more push on that tab? All right, so now here's 2760, 72, 70, 280, 274, 185. I look to the right, I don't see any white, black smoke, blue smoke. So we got engines up to operating temperature. All right, we're gonna look to the left, look to the right. Double reds, and then green. So 3, 2, 1. Start your turn. Crank it hard, all the way. Did you hit the stop? Did you hit the stop all the way with the turn?
Oh, I didn't hit the stop.
Okay, so if you did hit a stop, what you could do if you wanted a tighter turn, now straighten it out, come 40 degrees right. All right, straighten up. And let's come back to 1500. So let's do a quick emergency procedure, go to hard idle. Okay, now set 1500. So if we have any situations where we don't like it on this boat, idle.
Just bring it back.
Idle, idle, right?
Yeah, gotcha.
Because in A, two things, right? Slow your momentum, raise the stern, right?
Yep.
All right, threat's gonna be that sailboat. So we'll pass on his side. All right, so let's roll your seat forward about another 2 or 3 inches if you don't mind. Okay, this drill here, I just want you to nail it, and then I'll give you guidance on the RPM. I want you to keep your head and eyes up, shoulders up, and let's just pass to the inside of that green marker. What do you think?
Up to the left.
Eric, when you're ready, hold on to something.
Yep.
You ready?
Yeah, launch it, just keep her straight. All right, start rolling your throttles back. Rolling your throttles back. Okay, bring your throttles back in. You're at 25, keep them in, keep accelerating. All right, that's pretty good right there. So that's 28. All right, how do you feel as far as level goes at 28 with this particular wind, straight into the wind? Do you feel like you're trimmed appropriately?
To me it does. Okay. Maybe a little, I don't know how this one sits.
Come
Could be a
slightly
little
right. So what I would do is let's just take one of the tabs out, right? So I'll hold the control just real quick. I have the wheel. See where it says up? Just push nose up one time. Perfect. And that's how sensitive the fly tabs are, right? All right, you have the controls?
Yep.
All right, so we're in the channel. All right, that's an alert, right? See how it's counting down?
Yeah.
So you can range that out and change everything. I have it within 15 seconds. If we would range out, our next thread as it gets closer within 60 seconds is going to be on display.
That's a smooth ride.
Yeah. The vibration goes away, you know, when you're at RP. The vibration goes away.
Yeah.
It's not really a vibration, it's kind of like, to your point,
It wasn't
torque.
torque. It was just like a little bit different feeling. Yeah, it's more the torque. Yeah.
Your first 5 hours, you're going to feel all the sensations and get everything kind of like a normalcy, right?
Because every bolt feels a little different.
Correct.
Yeah.
Once we get away from all this traffic, we can do kind of like some agility drills of just turning at different power settings, and you can really feel how quick it
Feel what it
is.
does, yeah.
Now, a couple things here, just academics. If you tried arming the pods, right, because you're using a Helm station, you wouldn't be able to activate anything on this side. It would ignore it because it only does one Helm station at a time. If you had a fly bridge, think of it as almost you would have, 4 different stations.
Yeah.
Independently.
Makes sense.
So you'd have to bring it back to neutral, then engage it.
Then engage that.
Yeah.
All right, so he doesn't have an AIS, but the next guy should. And his wave, that wave we're not even worried about, it's too small. Anything over, if you had little kids on board, for me, just personally, 2.5 feet, I would turn 45 into it.
Yeah.
Anything over 3.5 to 4 feet, I would slow down and then bring my nose up to the plow position. All right, that's our last traffic. Let's go to the center of the channel. On the Garmin Autopilot controller, let's hit the menu key. Let's use the, the third one over, the third button down. Let's go down to GPS steering. Oops. Back up one. Using the 4th button, let's go down to GPS steering. Just helping you out on the wheel.
Yeah, that's the heavy because I here. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and hit the center button.
Follow route.
Yep.
Orbit. Follow route.
Now let's range in. Now you have the capability, if there's no traffic, you could free up some of that mental mind process to scan for traffic. get a bite to eat, maybe check a cell phone or something like that. You're not tracking specifically, making sure that like, I need to be plus or minus 20 feet of my lateral course. The Autopilot will do that on a proven course. As far as redundancy goes, once again, 10.4 feet, 10.4 feet, 10.4 feet. So if I lost a screen over here, I can still get all the information I need to know. What is my speed? What's my course? What is my depth? If I lost that and we're day VFR, right? Visual flight rules, hey, what's our depth? What's our speed, right? This is our lowest cruising RPM of 2,800. 28's pretty good, 3,000's really good, and then 32 is the max. So everything I've learned about Volvo is never go more than 300 RPM to your maximum, right? So I mean, if you had to get around some traffic, I would cruise at 32. You know, just for a short, or you can stay at 32 the entire time. But
28 to 3 though, it's like the sweet spot.
Yeah, so 2,800 to 3,200. Now, if I had to pass somebody particularly, what did Dan Galley used to say? The best defense is offense. I would go to 35, but I would try to limit it to about 60 seconds. And I'm coming back to a cruise RPM, and I'm trimming the boat, and then my eyes are going here. Is this 185? Ever since I had everything cleaned and flushed, I've never seen anything different than 185.
Got it.
So, if I remember correctly, anything closer to 200, you're going to get a master warning. And anything over 200 is actually going to reduce RPM. It's called a guardian. And it's just like any other boat you've ever had. It's going to protect itself. Alright, so on the Autopilot, Chad, it's going to be center button. And it's the fourth button. You're going to go down 3 pushes and then back to the center button. So center button, fourth button, down 3, and then center button. So now let's just practice real quick if you wanted to bring the Autopilot off. If you wanted a course correction, say a jet skier, right? Not that they would go head to head with you, but they do all the time, right? So if you need to do an immediate adjustment, just go ahead and grab the wheel and yank it. Okay, now look what your Autopilot mode will default to. Nothing, right? Let's see this?
Yep.
Go ahead and hit engage. And then trust, but verify. Okay, hey, we're coming back to our lateral course. We're 36 feet off and correcting. You can see it correcting back on course. It's fine. Alright, now a threat pops up and you don't want to yank the wheel, so go big red disconnect. Alright, start turning hard over to the left. And let's range out and pick up our target. So we want to look for a red and a green. Alright, wings level real quick. Let's do a hard over. So now that we're changing wind, right, we might have to change our trim. So every time we do a 90-degree course change, whichever way you want to go, let's go hard to the stop. Let's go hard to port, hard to starboard. Make an S. All the way. Okay, come back hard right. So starboard, we have just a little bit more maneuverability.
More, yeah.
All right, come back hard left. And go ahead and pick up your marker. You can see the green, the red might be gone still. So let's just go ahead and re-engage that lateral navigation on the Autopilot. All right, so your heading hold, so go menu key, the center button. Down 3 with the fourth button. Go back up 1. Go left, this guy here. Then you pass it.
Oh, I got you.
Follow route.
Follow route.
Alright, so now let's back this up. So now you see follow route. HH is heading hold, right? So heading might be okay, might not be okay. remember, heading in like a Boeing or on the Tiara won't compensate for any winds or current. All right, so we're back in the channel, we're cruising. Go ahead and try 3,000. I would recommend when you first start with the boat, if you've got a lot of people on board, set the heading and then launch the boat, trim it, and once you have your RPMs where you want, then drive the boat.
Got it.
That way you can let the autopilot take some of that work away and help you have a safer experience.
Yeah, makes sense.
Alright, so the bottom button on the trim, what do you think? Do you think we're port side down just a little bit, or do you feel pretty good?
Feels good to me.
Alright, let's ride with it then. What's your speed?
27. I had to think about where it was at.
Alright, so you're doing 27 knots with a 23,000 pound boat. Now with pods, the 28 to 32 is going to be the same fuel burn. So you get light, you're going to get 1.3 nautical miles a gallon. Heavy, you're going to get 1.1. My C rate, I used to get 0.4. And light, 0.6.
Yeah. The difference between a gasser and a diesel.
Yeah.
So this is what, almost 33 miles an hour?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you can say like, Adam, how do I want to know that, right? So I know the center button is our trip. This is multi, this is engine. So if we go center button, and I change both ECUs at the same time. All right, what's our trip hours, everything else like that. Now we can start going into some different things. So there's going to be a graph that I'm going to pull up. There's your engine speed, coolant. When Volvo comes through everything, they're looking here, right? So I'm going to pull up, graph, make both engines the same. 12.6, 13.2. So we're 25, almost 26 gallons an hour. So we're 27 knots.
Yeah.
So is that 1.1?
Yeah.
I grew up in Iowa, public schools, so. All right, so now we can go center button and use our graph. If we wanted any other data, we could certainly reach up and grab that. And there's all kinds of different modes that you can have set up here.
Set up, yeah.
I like how Volvo has it set up to where, you know, what is the most critical,
Right.
you know, and what can get my attention really quick if I'm having a bad day.
Yep. For sure.
All right, he's kind of offset the port. If I wanted to know how much, when we're going to get there, can you find it?
We're at 2.7, 252.
Right, and right now it's 246.
Yep. Hey, Iowa, what time? How many minutes is that?
So in Iowa time?
Yeah, in Iowa time.
Less than 20.
Yeah.
About a six-pack.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing there is like, okay, so now that's predicated on our current cruising speed, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't know that we're going to slow down.
Right.
All right, as you're coming up, have you cruised here at all, Ted?
No.
You can see as we're coming up, there's the pier. And right before we get to the pier, we do a 90 left, and we're going to go into the St. Pete Municipal. Going to pop out, get some fuel, and
Are you hungry at all? Are you hungry at all?
I'm not. I ate right before I got here.
Okay, because there's a place we could dock. It's called Dockport. It's pretty good.
It's up to you guys. I'm up for whatever.
I can go for a cocktail.
fair enough.
I'm not driving a boat.
So we do have the radar, we do have AIS, so anything really large we can see on radar for sure. a couple different things that you can come up to. You can open up these menus in the radar. I have the overlay function right now, but let's just go dedicated radar into a single. We start opening up these different menus. We can get into like bird track. If you wanted to fish and lock onto a specific flying target to wherever the fish are, you can do that. I kind of like the overlay. That way we can have all the information.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get stuck in a little bit of fog having the AIS and the radar. I mean, you're still going to go slow, but at least you can see everything around you.
At least you can see, yeah.
Yeah. No, it gets nasty in Lake Michigan.
Quick, yeah, real quick too.
I think it was New Year's Eve.
Hey, is this the guy that we were just talking to earlier that was doing his test flight out of Albert Whitten Airport? The little Cessna up there. Is that a
Kevin,
Cessna?
yeah.
Is that a Cessna?
It is.
That's what he's going to be flying today, right?
He is. The solo is a big deal, so it's pretty important. So see that smoke tower over there? The opposite side, that's going to be Eric's area, Apollo Beach. That's where the old Sea Ray went.
Yeah, still there.
All right, so as we get around the corner, let's start thinking about target-wise. This guy is he's going pretty slow, so we'll go around him kind of wide, but if he's getting pretty close, we'll just slow up. Now, if we got cut out in a heavy rain, we would just merely close the forward windshield, have the generator on, put up the isinglass,
Turn the heat on.
wait. All right, so let's go big red. And start tracking around his starboard side. We have one threat, we have two boats over here. We don't want to wake them too bad. Let's go back to 2800. Now, like any boat, with our trim setting, how slow can we go while we're on plane? So let's start pulling back slow RPM to see how slow we can get and still have forward visibility, maneuverability, and still see where we want to go. That's 25, slow pull, 24, 2350, 23. All right, let's maneuver to the port side, maneuver back to starboard.
You want me to get to his port or the?
No, just real quick, just kind of do like a quick
gotcha.
S. So just for maneuverability, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Now hard over to starboard. So as you can see, while we're just barely on plane with pods, as we're just changing a thrust vector, we can quickly maneuver.
Yeah.
All right, let's slowly go back. And let's set 1500 and let's track at about, how about a heading at 310? All right, 10 more to the right if you don't mind, John.
See that we got an AIS alarm. It's picking up this
All right, so now,
yacht here on our port side.
who is it, right? So you range in and hit OK. I said 1500. And see how it says My Lady at 7.3 knots?
Oh yeah.
That gives you your magnetic and how many feet it is, right?
Oh, look at that plane going up. Oh, that's cool.
Cherokee 180.
I just took off out of Albert Whitten Airport, downtown St. Pete. We got the new pier over here that's been open now for a couple of years. And we're coming into the St. Pete Municipal Marina. We're going to pick up some fuel and
Like right there.
Do a pump out.
Let's just kind of get behind this guy.
Do a little docking exercise.
All right, this heading here looks perfect. We look safe. We're in behind him.
And there's
Depth
Albert
is
Whidden
fine.
over there
Doors coming over.
to the port side. Beautiful downtown area. And we got another plane taking off. Busy at the airport today. What do you think, Chad?
Very nice.
All right, so we're kind of in the terminal area, right?
Yep.
So the radar, go ahead and turn that off. And while you're there, go ahead and push that stop now. Turn the radar off. All right, so now we know as we're coming in, we're not going to be transmitting on anybody. And also, too, if we didn't do a stop now.
Yacht Club, Yacht Club, Yacht Club, under Yacht Lady Jane.
Okay, so they're going to the Yacht Club. All right, as we come in, here's the dock for his restaurant. We're gonna track up in here. See the two reds?
Yep.
So we'll track this way, and as we come around to the left, we'll see the fuel dock for St. Pete.
Okay.
And then we can do an assess there. We've got two fill ports, starboard port, one tank, and it doesn't matter which side we fill on, it's gonna fill the entire tank. Now, I don't know where the pump out's at. We gotta do that on the port side.
The pump out is to the port side, kind of where the fuel is, but where the little boat ramp is.
Okay.
It's right next to that. And then there's also a pump out boat. Its name is Eric. You know, he comes and you give him $20, brings a boat, starts
Right.
up a pump on the boat, and he
All right,
does.
let's go to idle.
Over
Now-
here we got a good place, a little duck
Let's
forwards.
go back into gear. So now if you come in, just being in gear gives us
All right, I'm gonna put us down here for a little bit.
and we're not gonna wake anybody, right?
We're gonna
Now,
dock
if
up
we ever
here,
had a
do a
problem
pump out,
with
get
any
some
of the
fuel,
computers or the Helm station, you could
and I'll
always
check
just
back
go
in with
back
you.
and drive it like a boat.
Yeah.
All right, we are now at the St. Pete Municipal
So the
Marina.
whole thing here is like, you know, so we
Actually
go
have
into
some
gear,
pretty
this is
decent
set
fuel
up,
prices
so
here.
right? So I know that seems annoying, but I actually kind of
It's
like
one of the little
yes.
tiki
Yeah.
floating barges,
Okay, so now, let's go
little
neutral.
tiki bar.
Okay, roll your seat back. All the way.
Probably getting ready to pick up some guests.
Okay, arm the helm station, which is the lower left. And now let's practice a little bit. So let's go ahead and go a little bit counterclockwise.
And my boat is right over there. There's you see a trawler
And we can go all the way to the back.
on the transient dock there. You see the boat right to the right of it with a almost the same color blue canvas bimini top. That's mine. It's an Oceana 42 sun deck trawler. All right, I'm going to help with some docking here, so I'm going to put you down.
Almost, Chad. I think it was like a 16, right?
Captain Eric just came and met us at the fuel dock here and pumped us out. Pretty awesome service.
You're a movie star.
You're gonna be on YouTube. All right, here we are at the fuel dock. Let's see what the fuel prices are. Not bad, $3.85 a gallon. At a marina, that's pretty inexpensive for fuel. So not bad at all. She's standing tall, looking good. Here's our prospect Chad talking to the marina employee. And just an absolutely gorgeous day. Tiara Yachts.
Yeah, I'm still not getting the fever, you know, of it just turning.
Right.
That's why I thought I'd do it rather than using the gears,
Right.
just to see how it
Now, just
Feels like.
a
What's-
note, every once in a while, check your 6. You do have traffic at your 6, but they're pretty slow and a low threat. But just remember here, operational-wise,
Yep.
there's absolutely no reason to rush,
Right.
right? If you feel uncomfortable about anything, just, whether it's an airplane, boat, whatever, just stop your momentum and assess, right?
Yep. Just stop.
So, keep coming forward. We know we got a couple feet until we get to that piling. And let's check our 6 right now. So behind the rear of that, we got about 4.5 feet, right?
Yep.
So plenty of clear. So let's stop the momentum. Okay, let's go clockwise. And then hold it hard clockwise and hold, just so you can feel it.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, then it catches.
Right, feel that?
Yep.
So
Yep,
you're
yep.
loading.
You got to be
and then
deliberate.
Yep.
Unloading.
Oh, and I feel that more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then now, just like when the first time you drove sticks, are you right-handed?
Right-handed.
Okay, so move your hips in front of that seat. Now, just kind of hold on to it and look where the rear is going, right?
Yeah.
So then hold on with your left. All right, so let's shift a little bit to port, just to see how it kind of feels.
Oops. That's going forward. Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, so see, like to port, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to stop your momentum. I'm going to adjust so we parallel. So this is a little bit clockwise.
Yep, I got you. Okay.
All right, now, ready? You have the controls. Your controls. So now you can see the distance looks to be about maybe 4 feet,
Yeah.
maybe 5 feet, right? But our fenders are out, we're not going to get hurt. So let's just go ahead and back up until we get to about 10 feet. We'll probably pick up the 4th cleat. Now, if we had a depth alarm right now, as far as an emergency procedure would go, we would just go forward a little bit and stop our momentum.
Okay.
So when we're backing in, since our pods are in the back, but our props are on the front, right? If we would hit anything, we would hit the skegs and damage the skegs.
Gotcha.
So that's why, if you're unfamiliar with something, I would recommend backing in with a pod boat.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Smooth, Chad, smooth. Oh, also, this is the fun part of my job, is we get to go to Doc Ford's for a toddy. How about that? Love this place. Can't drink too much. We got the popo right there.
Okay, so let's stop the momentum real quick.
All right, guys, I'm gonna put us
Okay,
down while we tie up.
anything else?